What can benefit them or negatively affect them having to choose? Do you have anything?
Well, like I said before, most kids aren't going to be in the position where they get to choose.
That's right.
Right? Like it takes a very, 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 very good hockey player to be able to pick which route I want to go.
Confidently pick.
Yeah, and I think most of the kids that will have that choice where they get to pick would be kids from the States. Because in Canada, if you get drafted, there's no choice. You're just going to that team and trying out. You're not necessarily picking. So if you in Canada, if you get drafted when you're 16, you're going to camp for 2 years. So you're not making that choice until you're 18 anyways, because if you don't make it after your second season, then you're just going to try to go to school after that.
Okay, so just to qualify, there are guys that get drafted, like Adam Fantilli, first round last year to Saginaw. He's choosing to go to college.
Right. Obviously, there's exceptions.
I just want to make sure, because someone will say, nah, I know a guy.
For sure. Definitely there's exceptions to the rule, but
the
generally speaking,
most Canadians, they get drafted early, they're going.
So if you get drafted in Canada, 16, you go to camp for 2 years. And then if you get cut both years, then your choice is basically over. You're probably not going to get another crack at the OHL. You're probably going to try to go to school after that, right? Yeah. Whereas if you're a kid from the States, you have a little bit more leeway to pick now because there's a lot more schools over there. You're already in the States. You're already in that environment. You were probably planning on that anyways. Yeah. If you get an opportunity from an OHL team, then maybe you're like, okay, well, now I actually have to think about this. But for the most part, like I said to start, you're not going to be in a position where you're picking because most kids aren't that good, right? So if you find yourself in the position where you get to pick, then you're probably good enough where it doesn't actually matter too much. It's probably just go wherever the best deal is for you, basically. Yeah. So where are you going to play all the regular hockey things we talk about? Where are you going to play the most? Where are you going to develop the best? Who has the best development program? Who has the best facilities? So if you're talking about a D1 school that doesn't have a ton of money and always finishes in the toilet every year versus a really high quality OHL program, that's a pretty easy choice. And vice versa. If it's an OHL team that doesn't have the best reputation or doesn't have the best development program, and then you have a choice to go to Michigan State, then it's like, well, I feel like that's an easier choice. I don't really think there's a whole lot to that point because if you're a kid that gets to pick, then it probably doesn't matter too much. You're probably getting a pretty high quality offer. Yeah.
So, but like, what's the benefit? Well, to me, if it works out for you, it works out. But negatively, how can it affect you? Is that if you do choose the wrong way? And what I mean by that is that if you think you have an opportunity, let's just say with Charlie that I said, you know what, Guelph, thanks for drafting him, but we're going to keep our options open for the next couple of years. Yeah. And Charlie over this year doesn't commit himself, or he thinks he's good, or he's tapped out. And 18 comes along and the colleges aren't knocking on the door. That's negative. And then the only other thing the other way I look at it would be like if you did choose to sign someone, and like I was telling you about the one kid, and it just didn't work out for he just obviously couldn't play at that level, and he got 2 years of school paid for anyways. So that would be the only negative. But maybe he gave up a 4-year scholarship, but how the hell would he know?
And that's what I was going to say is like you can always look back and say, well, if I would have done this, it would have been different, whatever. But you have to make a decision, the best decision you can with the information you have at the time you're making the decision. So it's tough to look back. But I would say it's what I said before. It's relatively equal either way.